Hello. Oh, man, I've waited so long for this time to get together today. It seems to have taken forever. I mean, there was nothing Saturday, there was nothing Sunday, and today it's Monday and we're late because I had some meetings to attend to. But that's just another blessing I have, that I feel a purpose in life. I have ways to connect even though I cannot connect, one-on-one. Um, I need a haircut. It's not happening. Didn't put the wig on. Still kind of shy about that, but it's real cute when I do get it on. So anyway, I want to talk today about, on yesterday when we lit the candle for Advent. It was the candle of love. So this week we are focusing on love. What do we mean when we're focusing on love? I can tell you kind of sort of what we don't particularly mean. And one thing is romance. Romance is fine. And romance is an expression of love, but it is not the love itself. You see, the expression of love, the romance, or all that kind of stuff, that is an expression of the principle that is love. Oh, I know it sounds so dry and meaningless to say that love is a principle. But nothing can be better or more important than to look at love as principle. You want to know why? Because principle is absolute, eternal, and unchanging. If you've ever had those moments with someone that you love or love, depending, you might be infatuated, which is what I call temporary hormonal occlusion. That's kind of the infatuation thing. But when someone you love and you fear you might have an argument or something like that, and you think, oh my gosh, maybe I've lost their love. Well, first of all, real love is principle. It can't be lost. Absolute, eternal, and unchanging. So even though you might have an argument, if instead you kind of breathe through it and step away and keep affirming your love, and even if it's just in your own heart and mind, you will get through it. So often we compromise our own values in the name of what our human consciousness thinks of as love. I love, I really have an affinity for the song Love Came Down at Christmas. Now, I have some friends that don't go with the up and down and why is heaven there? It's not a location, it's a state of consciousness. But still, when we look at the only way we can sometimes understand these things is through our own minds. So, love, as another song says, love lifts us up. Whew, we all want to live there, don't we? We want to live in that place where we don't ever have to fear. Well, because love is a principle, you can never be without it. It's up to you whether you choose to be in the circulation system of love, which means giving and receiving. My Florida family, I sent them a check that I wrote to the Heifer Foundation, which will provide animals for third world country families. So they might send a flock of chickens, so they will be able to get eggs and more chickens, and to be able to have that help them get by. But it wasn't about what it was about the kids picking something to send, to feel joyful and to feel that sensation of giving that nobody else and nothing else but love can build. I know our times are very challenging, and here in 2020 on December, this weekend, the 11th to the 14th, we've had some real challenges with love. We've had protests and shootings and stabbings and, Lord, I mean, there was a choir outside a Manhattan church doing an outdoor Christmas concert. And someone came and started shooting things up. And sadly, he seemed to want to die because he kept saying, "Go ahead, shoot me. Go ahead, kill me." Was he evil? Or was he just so starved for love and appreciation that he couldn't see any hope? I pray you never get there. I pray there's never a breakup or a loss or something that makes you feel unloved, because I want to tell you, there are people you don't even know about that love you so much, and they would just be so devastated if anything happened to you. Sometimes those people are someone you met just once, and something you said touched them in their heart, maybe made them feel good about themselves, maybe gave them a moment of feeling accepted. You know, that's what we all really want. We want to be loved. We want to be accepted. We want to be appreciated. And we want to give what we have to give. Not for any kind of compensation, but because as we give, so we receive. As we give, there's so many things you can give. One of the most important things today is we can forgive. How most of us have been abused by someone. We've been lied to, cheated on, we've been taken advantage of. Some have been physically hurt. And you have to know, though, that to forgive something is a gift to yourself. It doesn't matter about them. It doesn't even matter if they know you forgave them. The thing is, you're taking a burden off your heart. Most things are not as they appear. That's why Jesus said, "Judge not by appearances, but use righteous judgment." We don't know what other people have gone through. We don't know what made them who they are today. And to forgive someone is not to say it's okay. To forgive someone doesn't say that it didn't hurt or it doesn't matter. It totally matters. But to love is to heal. Our world needs so much healing today. But we can do it. So, are you getting some Christmas gifts for people? Or are you kind of skipping that this year? Doesn't matter. You know, Charles Fillmore, who was the co-founder of Unity, said, "No Christmas gifts, no exceptions." Boy, tell your kids that, huh? But we've been programmed to expect that it's somebody else's birthday and we're going to get gifts. I am so happy that I have gotten to the point in my life where I don't need to get gifts to know I'm loved and appreciated. Oh, are they fun? Oh, yes. Do they make you feel good? Oh, yes. Matter of fact, my daughter gave me my Christmas gift early. She's got a new job and she was making pretty good money. And she said, Mom, I want to get you something just for you, special, just for you. Wait for Christmas. No, I want to do it now. And I told her I wanted a robe. I explained what I wanted when I said robe. It meant warm. It meant fluffy. It meant cozy and thick. And so we found that robe, and she got it for me. And you know, every time I put that robe on, it's mostly about feeling the love. I feel that love when I put that robe on. That reminds me, I had some socks once. Actually, my daughter bought me those socks. But it was, wow, hang on a minute. It was at least 20 years ago. And I think it might have even been Christmas. And she gave me 3 pair of socks. A black pair, a brown pair, and a blue pair. And they were the most wonderful socks I ever had. They didn't pinch me at the ankle, or you know how like I get those dents in my leg if I have the things with the elastic tops, and then you go. No, they weren't tied at all. And they were so soft. And when I put my feet in those socks, ooh, I felt like they were being mega cuddled. They were great. And over time, well, heck, it was 20 years ago and I wore them all the time. I wore those socks down to threads. But it wasn't just about the physical sock, the material. It was also about the fact that she gave them to me and how wonderful it felt when I put them on. Now, what do socks cost? It wasn't the socks. It was the love. I have a friend who used to wear 2 different color socks. And I didn't want to ask him why. It seems like every time I saw him, he had on 2 different color socks. And I don't want to say anything. I figured it was no offense, it was a guy thing. You know, like, grab what's clean in the laundry basket and wear the first thing you come to. So one day, he made a comment to me. He saw me looking at the socks, and he said, I wear 2 different color socks for a reason. And I said, you do? He goes, yeah. He said, I have some political ideas, and I don't like to bring them out. I don't like to bring them out. But if somebody else brings up the subject to me, if they say, why are you wearing 2 different color socks? He says, I haven't a chance to tell them why. He was such a wonderful guy. And sadly, he worked in a convenience store. And one day, someone robbed the store and killed him. That was a tough one, because he was so loved. But rather than linger and make ourselves bitter and hateful about what happened, I try to remember all the good things. He was the best hugger in the church. He did our music. And he was a real special guy. And he knew how to love. And I do not doubt that he visits us whenever we think of him, and that he shares his love, and that he's sharing love on a way greater scale in the world today. How do you share your love? Do you get big, expensive gifts that you think people will love you because of the size of the gift? You know me, I got a song for that. Can't buy me love. Can't buy me love. Love comes freely. And there's no limit to love. You don't run out of it. I realize that, when I was a kid, I spent so much time feeling that my mom, I was the middle child, I was the middle child for 15 years. And while I was the middle child, I always thought that my parents loved my sister most because she was the older and she had more privileges than I did and my brother. But then I thought that they loved my brother most because he was the baby. We used to actually call him the Crown Prince. And he got spoiled because he was younger. Well, anybody that's a middle child knows what it felt like to me. But it wasn't until I became a parent and I realized that there is no limit to that love. So if you're feeling that you are not loved right now, if you feel that, your parents or your siblings or somebody else, love the others more than you, let that flip and go right now. Do not waste your time on that. Because the love is immeasurable, unlimited, opulent, and there for everybody. And if you're looking at love from the ego perspective, I suggest you let go of that. And look at love as just good feelings, smiles. One of the reasons I felt that I did not get as much love as my siblings is because I was always a very powerful and self-sufficient person. I did not need any of the extra stuff. Well, I did not appear to need any of the extra stuff. So the extra attention and stuff went to the siblings who appeared to be more fragile than me. So another thing is, don't judge someone thinking that they're strong and they have everything they need, because you don't know what's going on in their little insides. You don't know, even though they might be brazen, bullyish even outside, that they're not just a whimpering child that needs a little love. Love can cure so many ills. And truly, the song says, love came down at Christmas. Love was the center of the teaching of Jesus. How are you going to share your love today? Remember when I talked about the book Like Water for Chocolate? Tita shared her love in her food, and everybody that ate it knew they were loved. Unless she was having a bad day and then they either threw up or cried, or because all her stuff was put into her food. Well, remember we talked the other day about, we started talking about one of my loves. This is one of my sock monkeys. It's Sunshine. Have you ever seen a yellow sock monkey before? Maybe not. Well, this is my Sunshine. And I made her with these funky Mardi Gras color hair and a little skirt. And you remember what I told you about the heart. God loves you, and so do I. And I said I was going to show you how to make a sock monkey. Then I started to back off on it and said, maybe I'll just show you the pictures. And then I said, how could you do that? A promise is a promise. And I really, really encourage you to think about, if you can wheedle a needle and thread and a pair of scissors, you can do this. So, you remember I showed you the socks, and I told you that they were the red heel socks, In the video Friday, I think I told you where to get them. I just go to, I just type in Sock Monkey Socks, and it'll take you right to the sites where you can order them. Some stores have them, but not a lot. I did find them actually here in an Army surplus store. Go figure. Anyway, so what I did with these socks is I marked them. So I took a marker. You see those little scoopy things? Those are ears. And these are going to be the arms. And then this piece here is going to be the mouth. And then here, going down the side here, we have the tail. Now the instructions tell you how to do it, so don't worry about it. I don't measure this. I kind of like look at it and say, that looks about right. Now you might make a mistake. So let me tell you a funny story about a mistake I made. Back, oh my stars, 40 years ago is when Cabbage Patch Dolls came out. And let me tell you something. Have you ever seen the movie Jingle All the Way, where the father's looking and looking and looking for the toy you just couldn't get? That's the way it was with Cabbage Patch Dolls. You could not get one. And I happened to have a little girl that wanted a Cabbage Patch doll. So I went to, I don't know, it was probably Colchester Mill. And I found a kit for making your own Cabbage Patch doll. And so I did my best. Now my sister Valerie is the crafty one. I'm the one that writes. I do my things, she does her things. I write and talk, and she does crafty things. That's not to say I can't do them, I just don't do them the way she does. I mean, she went to art school and stuff like that. So anyway, so I made the little Cabbage Patch doll. And when he was all put together, he had one little chubby leg and one little skinny leg. Excuse me, it was too late to do anything about it. Well, what I did is I called him Tiny Tim. We all know about Tiny Tim from the Christmas Carol, little crippled boy. And today, we were actually talking about that. I said, you remember Tiny Tim? And she goes, oh, yeah, I love Tiny Tim. Well, I don't know whatever happened to him over the years, but that was kind of it. But she didn't care that one leg was skinny and one leg was chubby. She loved it because I made it for her. Don't think you have to be perfect in order to have perfect love. It's not necessary, okay? So I hope you can be okay with that. So this is all like approximates. I do use a ruler so I can basically measure, and I use a marker to mark this. So you, according to what they tell you on the instructions, you draw out turn the sock inside out, flatten it out, and draw on the lines. Don't press too hard, don't make it go all the way through all the layers, because when you're done, you're going to have a hard time covering up that ink that went all the way through. Now, with my ears, I have a pattern so that I can make sure both ears are kind of sort of the same size. And if this were the monkey that I'm just showing you, I drew the ears on, and then I'm going to draw another line about 1/4 inch from the ear. And that's going to be my cut line. This is going to be my stitch line. The other one's going to be the cut line. Now, if I had a medium or a small monkey that I wanted smaller ears for, I would just draw the line here and then draw a line inside of it to make a smaller ear. You know, monkeys come with all sizes of ears. Sometimes they even have one big one and one little one. Sometimes they're even just a tad bit cockeyed. It's wonderful. And I've just gotten into making tiny ear monkeys because I thought they were hilarious. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're sweet. So anyway, so after, now this sock is going to be the body of the monkey. See? It's going to be like that. The mouth is going to get sewn on here and the ears on the sides here. And these are the legs. You'll see that I pinned across the lines. I do a line of pins for each side because you sew it before you cut it. Okay? So I put them on one side. I'm going to put the others on the other side. I find them all. Well, you would think, well, I've got it. I got it flattened out and marked. Why do I have to pin it? That's because as you sew, you might waver off into one direction or the other. If you've got the lines and you pin them, you know the sock has not shifted like this or something, so that you're putting your lines in the wrong place. So I don't imagine you have to have this specific pair of socks, but if you can go to the store and find some socks to try it out for yourself, go for it. If you want to order the socks, just look up Sock Monkey socks on Google and they will get them as quick as you can, and maybe we can have them done together. This probably takes a total of about 10 hours. So to make the whole monkey, and well, unless you do a lot of fussy stuff, and there's times when I do fussy stuff, and that works for me. So I'm going to pin the rest of this. Maybe I will get it stitched tonight. Maybe I won't. We'll see tomorrow. So there. There used to be a commercial for Pillsbury, not the Pillsbury Doughboy. No, it's for Pillsbury flour. And they would say, nothing says lovin' like something from the oven. And Pillsbury says it best. Well, nothing says lovin' like something from the oven, but any flour will probably come out good if you make it with love. And also, nothing says lovin' like something from your heart, made with love. That's it for today. I hope you have a great day. And I want to tell you something. I love you. I just do. And I appreciate so much that you have been with me today and you come by and check out the videos. It is the best Christmas gift. Thank you. You have a great day, and let's see what adventure awaits us tomorrow. Bye-bye.